So good morning, I'm David Bliss. I'm the CEO of the Lowther Estate up in Cumbria near Penrith, and I'm also an ambassador of the Forestry Commission. The estate's always been a wooded estate. Over the years it's often run at 25% of the land area being covered in woodland. Due to various circumstances over the last, I suppose 50 years, that area has decreased as intensive land management has increased. We're now at a time when we're looking at regenerative land management, and that's led us to look at planting more trees. A resilient income is important for the estate. So when we started looking at Ladybeck, we thought, well, what's the future income potential from a wood in England? We're producing really good timber here in Cumbria. Yeah, we're in what we call the golden triangle for timber production, and we will look after the trees to produce a crop. On an estate like this, you need resilience for the future, whether that's the first year or in 100 years' time. And we're also very aware, all of us now, of our carbon footprint. The Woodland Carbon Code, it's allowing people to register their carbon and then decide whether to hold it or whether to trade it in the future. But what it is giving them is asset value immediately and revenue if they wish it. So we took the step immediately of registering this planting on the Woodland Carbon Code, which, to be fair, is a pretty easy process, but it replaces any value that you've lost by planting the trees on your land with a true income for the future. We immediately applied for the Woodland Creation Planning Grant, which allowed us to bring in the experts that you need to complete the bird surveys, to look at the land type, to look at how it's going to sit within the landscape. And that was a very supportive grant that gave us expert advice immediately and led us forward into EWCO. By covering the capital cost of planting the trees, you get the future income. Without the support of EWCO, we wouldn't have got those trees in the ground.
Hi, I'm Kelvin. I'm the Forestry and Conservation Manager for the Lowther Estate. So what we wanted to do was to plant from the beck outwards, so to protect the watercourse and improve water quality. So what we've done is we've designed a woodland that has shrubby trees run alongside the beck and then leading up into taller trees. And it allows us to mitigate the flow of water down into the beck, reduce the level of impact from our agricultural activities, and create habitats around the watercourse. That's integral for bird species, nesting birds, and the wider biodiversity of the area.
The area we're standing in today is a dairy farm that still carries 300 cows. And we looked at it and we thought, well, the first thing we want to do is protect our soils. The second one is probably to protect our water. And Ladybeck offers us that potential.
What we've got here is kind of a hawthorn-gean mix that moves into a birch mix into oak and sycamore. And what we're aiming there is to have a woodland that sits into the curve of the landscape. What we also need to do was balance the agricultural requirements of this. This is a dairy farm. So we have a dense woodland behind us that goes up from the beck and over the top here, and we go into wood pasture. Wood pasture allows us to have clumps of trees within the fields that allows us to continue our agricultural works but re-establish woodlands in fields. So that's returning to the field trees, which are really important and integral to the welfare of animals, the landscape quality, and general biodiversity.
What we need to find is more opportunities on the more marginal agricultural land that isn't for intensive production, but offers the opportunity to get some trees in the ground, and that allows us to look at a new income for the future. When you plant a tree, it doesn't necessarily depreciate the land value, which worries many farmers. You can increase the value of your land. And then you get true resilience moving forward for the climate, but also for the people that live beside the trees. The future of regenerative land management is in front of us. And we're continually looking at our land to think, where can we plant the next lot of trees? So we will be applying for more grants to plant more trees. My 3 takeaways as a forester is 1, start early, get out there, look at your land, consider what will be suitable. 2, contact the Forestry Commission early while you're walking through your land in the summer. And then also there's plenty of other opportunities out there for support with private organisations, charitable organisations. You're not alone, just reach out and ask for help. And 3, do it for the future, for the next generation.